What up guys, and welcome to the channel. So I told you I would do a full review of the car running in and out. So I've been, for like past 2 days, been driving it around like crazy, trying to get mileage on the clutch so I can get it tuned either Thursday or Friday, depending on what John has available. So I'll definitely record that, show you guys the numbers that it makes, and tell you guys what I did to the car so far. So it's I pulled the motor out because I wanted to change the clutch and I wasn't gonna drop the whole rear end if I didn't have to. So I pulled the motor, I did new head gaskets, pretty much every gasket on the motor itself. We did a BTR stage 4 turbo cam, valve springs, push rods, LS7 lifters, ATI balancer. I did a 10% underdrive on that. It already had an air raid intake. We did a full exhaust 3-inch out the back. It's Texas Speed long tubes to their X pipe, and then I made my own custom axle back, which I showed you guys in the last video. So I'm gonna show you guys the engine bay all completely together and just go over everything, show you all the little ins and outs and what the car sounds like. So let's get out of the car and see what the engine bay looks like complete. So this is it. I basically wanted to keep it looking stock looking as it is. It's only gonna make rough. My high guess is 475. My low will be about 440. So we'll see what the Dream Killer does this week. But there you can see long tubes in the MSD. I already had these MSD wires from my last build. They maybe had, I want to say, 1,000 miles on them before I took them off the RX-7, before I took it apart. There's the air raid intake. There's the headlights I tinted yellow. Same thing with the fogs. The fogs have LEDs in them. But all in all, this thing looks completely stock from the naked eye. Hold this hood up for it's kind of windy. Sorry for the wind out here. It was beautiful during the day. That's that. I'm pretty sure I've already showed you guys the exhaust, but I'll show you one more time for the people that are new to the channel. But that's it right there. It took me about 3 tries to get these as even as possible on here. They're 2 separate ones, so they always want to like tilt and bend down. So it was kind of hard. I used a crossover tube to hold them together. So these will disconnect over the axle back, but having that crossover tube is what keeps these as even as possible. And I tried to center them as good as I can. The fucking car is dirty as hell from driving it around so much. But this is go over the body too. This I forget who makes this, but I put this wing on. It just sits right over the stock base wing. It's got tints on it. I blacked out the side markers. I did these when I had the bumper off. I didn't do them before because I didn't want to take them off, but I wound up doing them afterwards. I gotta do brakes. I'm gonna get new drilled and slotted brakes when I do the suspension in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna get Bilstein shocks front and rear and lower the car. I'm eventually gonna do the wide body on it, but I'm trying to buy a house in August, so once I get the house, then I'll start worrying more about the wide body. I'm gonna go with I've been going back and forth between doing bolt-on fenders to do more of a Rocket Bunny style kit, and the Supervet Z06X. So I see a lot of people doing the Supervet ZR6X, and just want something a little bit different than everyone else has. And I like the way the super wide looks with the Ford Star wheels, so that's probably what I'm gonna go in that direction. I just looking at money wise, and I don't want to do this thing twice, so I'm gonna do it the way I want it and not skip any little details. The same thing that I do with the motor. I bought everything as good as I possibly can to prepare this for this winter when I go single turbo and go for that 1,000 horsepower mark. And I also have been going back and forth with what turbo I want to use, and with the limited space in the engine bay, I'm really pushing towards the Turbonetics 7875. A lot of people say it won't reach the 1,000 mark, but I'm just gonna see what it does. If it doesn't, I'll be happy with anything 800, 850 and above. And I want to hit that 1,000, but I'll upgrade the turbo later on if I don't actually hit it. But this isn't an all-out street or all-out race car or anything like that. I drive this everywhere. I put 60,000 miles on this in the past 2 years. I even drove it through the winter. I still have the winter tires on, which are coming off next week too. I drove this through the entire winter. Let's see for sure that they're actually winter. Yeah, right there. The Alpine Pilot by Michelin. So I'm not afraid to drive this thing at any time of the year, but I'm not going to drive it in the winter anymore now that I have the truck. So let's get to the sound clip. I'll set you guys up outside here. Hopefully with all this wind you can actually hear it, but let's see. As you guys can see, it is loud as shit because it's full 3-inch straight pipe. There's no cats, no mufflers, no resignators, nothing. It's headers 3-inch all the way back until it goes out, with 4-inch dual tips at the back. So it is extremely loud, and I just hope I don't get too many crazy exhaust tickets until the turbo goes on, because I'm going to leave the full straight 3-inch exhaust. I'm gonna cut it in the middle and just do a Y and then connect it to the downpipe when I do the turbo, because the turbo will quiet this bitch way down. So I don't want to restrict it when the turbo goes on anyway, so I don't want to put mufflers on. So let's hope that doesn't have to happen. So let's go to the interior. I read a lot of reviews on this gauge pillar pod. A lot of people were saying it was a little bit too close, but I think maybe they had the steering wheel a little bit too high. So because like there's a good another hand in between the gauge pod and the steering wheel. So unless you're having the steering wheel all the way up and extended in, it probably will hit, but I'm not having any issues with it. This is the AEM fail-safe. I bought this on the last build when I did the RX-7 LS swap, and I just saved it. It does have a boost reference, so it can do boost reference, and if it over boosts or runs too lean, you can set parameters to kill the motor so you don't blow up your entire motor. But that's pretty much it. I didn't show you guys you could see the windshield cracked like hell when I fixed the heads-up display here. That's gonna be fixed next week. I called my insurance and had them order the windshield, so But all in all, I can't wait to get a tune, see what kind of power it actually makes, and get this clutch broken in so I can do some pulls. And then once I have it all together, there's a couple car friends that I'm gonna get together and do YouTube videos on their builds and show you guys a little bit more. And there's this other dude that I was talking to on Instagram that we're gonna meet up. He's on the New York border, which is probably, New York border is about an hour from where I am, so we're gonna meet somewhere in between. He's got a brand new Z06 that looks sick. He got a base model Z06, so the lowest tier Z06 you can get, and he's just upgrading it himself, which I would have did the same thing. I want to build my own car and do crazy shit to it myself, so do it the way I want it to look, not factory. Any car guy's not going to keep anything factory. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do a little bit more driving, try to get more miles on this clutch, and then get home and enjoy the rest of the night with the dogs. So hope you guys are having a good week. I will probably check in with you midweek as the clutch getting broken in and do some pulls, and I will definitely have the full video of the tune showing the numbers before it's tuned and after. My guess for the before tune is going to be around 330, and I'm hoping high 475. That 475 is kind of a reach. It would probably be like 440, 450, but let's keep our hopes up. All right, so don't forget, please subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys want to see. If you like the content that you do see, let me know what I can improve on. You guys, I'm doing this for you guys, and I enjoy doing it and bringing car culture together. So again, have a good week, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.